What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Stereo Rifles, and it's hot as a motherfucker outside. But anyways, something came to my mind the other day, and I was thinking, it seems like these developers, man, aren't they always, they're either ahead of their time or behind the times. Obviously when the game first came out, they were the trendsetter, for Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, Modern Warfare, etc., etc. But, in the recent years, they released Advanced Warfare. I personally think that game was a tad ahead of its time. I think that should have came a few years later. And I think, too, let's say Infinite Warfare is a fine example. I loved Black Ops 3, fortunately. Even despite it being an EXO game, I personally enjoyed it. And the EXO being in the game is part of why I enjoy it so much, other than, obviously, the nice time to kill, the awesome score streaks, you name it. But I remember when Infinite Warfare came out after Black Ops 3, and honestly, I really didn't care for it, man. Very short time played on it. I was over it pretty quick. But, we fast forward a few years later, and I go back to it now, and I enjoy it. I mean, I can't play it all the time, because it's definitely not one of my favorite titles, but I could definitely go back to it now, and that's what brings me to my point. Just kind of how, again, I think the game was maybe ahead of its time. Black Ops 3 came out. I'm thinking Infinite Warfare should have been a boots-on-the-ground game, and then after that, maybe brought back to, like I said, an Infinite Warfare style game, and basically kind of staggered it out. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like, I don't know, they're just so worried about what everybody else is doing in the gaming scene these days. As you know, they rip off Overwatch. They ripped off, looks like they're trying to rip off Rainbow Six now with this new game. Like, they're not doing their own thing anymore, man. The EXO thing was cool. I know it wasn't an original idea, but at the same time, it was kind of innovative. It did break up the monotony of Call of Duty, in my personal opinion. But once again, it should have been staggered out a little better than it did. Not back-to-back back-to-back EXO movement Call of Duty titles. And I think that would have satisfied the community a little better. Because, I think we just get fatigued on it, man. Especially the grinders. We just get fatigued on the same exact thing. And honestly, it makes me wonder if they never did come out with an EXO movement game or series style, a style of play. Would we still, I honestly think we'd still be complaining. I think it'd be mostly the community be saying, Call of Duty's the same every year. And they do say that now. But I think they'd really be pushing that agenda if we never got an EXO series of Call of Duty to kind of, again, break things up. And even though when Black Ops 3 introduced Specialist, it was something new. I remember at the time when it came out. And I did enjoy it. I'm like, oh, this is dope, man. Like, the Tempest has got this, like, lightning gun, and he could transport, and, some of them were pretty cool, man. It was something different. I know they were kind of ripping off other game titles, but it broke up the monotony. But for whatever reason, like with Black Ops 4, they just said, let's turn it up to 11, man. Let's just make it so ridiculous. It's almost cartoonish at this point. It's like, I don't know. They never seem like they're on point anymore, following the trends, Instead of being the trendsetter now, they're the trend chaser. And it just, I don't know, what do you guys think, man? Do you think Infinite Warfare, even Black Ops 3 for some people, would have been more enjoyable if it was staggered out instead of Treyarch, Infinity Ward, also Sledgehammer releasing back-to-back EXO movement games? If they were staggered out with a boots on the ground in between this past few years, do you think it would have possibly been a little more enjoyable for the community? I honestly think it was just gaming fatigue overall. Even though Infinite Warfare was kind of the extreme version of EXO movement, they really did. They're another one. It's like, so Black Ops 4 took the Specialist's abilities to the extreme, and Infinity Ward took Infinite Warfare, the EXO movement, to the extreme. I don't know why they just feel like they gotta one. Maybe that's how they feel like they're one-upping themselves every year by making the game. Here's some air quotes that you can't see, but air quotes saying better. We made the game better by making it more obnoxious than it actually has to be. I don't know. It's kind of perplexing for me. It just makes me think. It's just a little food for thought, you know, for you guys. Let me know down in the comments section, man. What do you think, man? Do you think COD's ever going to get back on their feet? Maybe Modern Warfare this year is going to finally do it, even though we say every year this game is going to save Call of Duty. You know, I don't think anybody said Infinite Warfare is going to save Call of Duty. But, I don't know. Do you think they'll start setting the trends? Do you think that it's just they're washed up, burnt out, and it just is what it is? I don't know. Let me know. But that's going to be it. And I'll just see y'all in the next one, man. Take it easy, guys.